Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Farming Valley. So, since last episode, the main things that I've done, I've been running some iron, getting some steel. I did a minimal amount of mining. And then I also harvested tomatoes and stuff. It's not too long after last episode. So today, when I got Constantan plates, we have like another couple stacks of Constantan, because I made so much of it there at the end of last episode. And yeah, see, it's steadily going. it takes a little while. So anyways, today we are going to start working up inside the factory. Well, technically last episode we worked up inside the factory a little bit. We got, power generation started. And today we're going to start working towards a bit of automation. Now, it's probably going to take the course of a couple episodes, of course, because we're going to be automating steel production. And honestly, I was kind of debating between, I need to get the pathway that runs up here. I should have just used my teleporter book, but I've been debating about using the reinforced blast furnace or using the arc furnace. And I think I'm going to use the arc furnace because, it's just faster. It's better for steel production. So we're going to start working with basically automating coal coke first up, because I hate doing that. And I know I had a question about up here. I know Harikane asked about it, and regarding the office that's up here and then having a power room behind that. This isn't actually where the office is going to start, so just a heads up. It's just going to be up in here, like above the door, which I did shift this. Let me show you that real quick. I shifted this like right after last episode. I was editing the footage and I was like, wait a second. You may have saw my caption there. But I just shifted it over because I needed all this stuff to line up, and it actually wasn't. I moved everything so that it lined up, and then after the episode I was like, I didn't even move it right because it's not lined up. So anyways, right here it connects right across to a pillar. Right over here connects right across to a pillar. Right over here connects right across to a pillar. And if you look at it from the front side here, we've got most of the window sections are 4 long. This one here is 5 long. And then we have 4 long, and then these are just singles, and then 3. Okay, which is fine. It doesn't all have to be 4 long, as long as the the general design of the building is the same. That's the most important part. But I wanted the door to be like right in here, so it's kind of, it's not blocked by beams or anything like that, so it's great. But regarding the office that's up here, this is actually going to come up, and there's going to be like a little walkway that kind of wraps around. The office will be right over, kind of right in here. Kind of maybe start like right in here. Then we're going to have the walkway kind of come out and wrap around to the back upper section, which is going to have like some power and stuff like that back up in there. So, and probably some other things, but that's just a general idea. So, but anyways, today, with automation right now, since we don't have, we don't have coal coming in automatically, we don't have iron coming in automatically, we don't have cobblestone coming in automatically. The stuff that we're going to be doing today, and probably, I'll go ahead and say probably next episode as well, is going to be semi-automated. We can come in, we can drop in cobblestone, we can drop in coal, we can drop in iron, and it's going to get ran to its respective places and create the materials. And then we're going to go ahead and set it up for once we get it fully automated, so that it doesn't overflow, right? Because that's going to be one of the major things that we're going to have to deal with using conveyor belts, is the fact that conveyor belts, unlike, item conduits, for example, with Ender.io, you can't just plug conveyor belts up to everything and it just intelligently say, okay, well, that inventory is full, so I'm going to quit sending items. Because, the conveyor belts, they send them, like, in-world. So it's traveling down a pipeline, and if you don't stop that and don't control that, it's just going to keep sending that stuff down the pipeline. It's going to back up. It's going to cause a lot of lag. It's going to despawn. It's going to waste materials. It's bad news. Okay, so we're going to be dealing with that to make sure that we don't have overflow going out as well today. Okay, so anyways, let's go ahead and jump into it. And I decided I'm going to move this coke oven and this blast furnace and just move them up there, and we're going to empty that little section out, because now that we have the factory, I really don't think we need coke ovens and blast furnace down in this little room, and instead we'll put something else there. There's plenty of things that we can put there, but I'm going to wait to move those because I actually need that steel being produced. Like, I really, really do. So let me go ahead and make some more coke bricks, and they're not very expensive. Bricks, clay, and sand. So give me just a second. I've actually probably got to pop to the... No, I've got sandstone. Sand. I've got sand. Okay. Anyways, give me just a second. I'm going to have to get this stuff smelted and everything. It was just a good timing to start the video, and I'm going to cut and get just a couple little things together. So I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, our bricks are done. It's the next day. I know pumpkins are going to be coming in here soon. I'm actually kind of dreading it. I love the money in summer, but I hate harvesting pumpkins and melons. Not pumpkins coming in, melons coming in, right? Oh, they are not in. Okay, and corn is not in. I know tomatoes aren't in. Okay, so we're safe today. Good. Okay, so what we're going to do is, let me grab this. And coke bricks, let's go ahead. There's a stack and a half of those. It's actually probably more than I'm going to use, I think. But I'll go ahead and craft them anyways. Just because. Alright, so I'm thinking we are going to start the steel production right back in here, I believe. I do believe so. And so what we'll do is we are going to have our coke bricks. See, I want to have enough space so that you can walk through here and kind of walk in front of the power section, right? So I'm going to start the coke bricks maybe like right in here, I'm thinking. So we'll have like coke brick there. Oh, is this going to be enough space though? That's the question. Because I would like to have at least 4 long. Ooh, no, not really. I'll tell you what. No, we're going to set it... Change my mind a little bit. But I think if we have this like automated, I think 4 coke ovens should be plenty for this pack. I mean, it's not like I need 50 million steel like next episode or something. So I think 4 coke ovens. I really wish there was like an advanced coke oven. I don't know why Immersive Engineering does not have that. Because it just makes sense, right? I mean, there is coal coke from Railcraft, but it's not craftable. So, yeah. We'll just do it like this. This will be fine, I think. Yeah, I'm a few bricks short, but I got those down in the one building. So I'll have a bit extra, but that's okay. I'm not too worried about it. Let me go ahead and actually, though, for right now, I'm going to grab... like those, just so I can finish this coke oven in the front first. And then I guess I'm going to have them facing this way. Yeah. Yeah, we'll have them facing in this direction. And then once we get these set up... Wow, there you go. Once we get these set up, I'll remove the one that's down there and we'll plug up this other one. So... Alright. And so there's that. And then what I want to do is... Let's see, I'm going to need... There's so many big machines I'm going to need for this setup. So, I think what I'm going to do, let me actually pop down to the storage building. What I'm going to do is, like, until I get all the machines in and I get the automatic, okay, there's no chests in there. Until I get, like, the automatic, like, coal coming in and stuff like that, what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to use a chest, I think, for our general input. And then later on, whenever I, like, automate it, all I have to do is remove the chest, replace it with something else, and there we go. It's still the same setup. So one thing that I'm going to want is a router, item router, right? Yeah, right here. So for this, we're going to need conveyor belts. We're going to need a lot of these things, which actually could be a problem. I have 9 leather at the moment. What options do I have for making leather, by the way? Because I'm going to need so many conveyor belts. Oh, that's right. I can do rotten flesh. And we can also do the industrial squeezer. We're going to need a squeezer, but I don't really want to set it up right now. So I think I'll just do the rotten flesh method. Because I'm up to my ears in rotten flesh anyways. Through the alchemy catalyst. Don't I have... I don't have... Yeah, I have conveyor somewhere. Don't I? Okay, yeah, I've got 4. I'm going to pop over to the house. I'm going to get this stuff changed over into leather real quick. And then just iron and redstone. We'll get our... conveyor belts. There we go. There's about a stack and a half. That should be good for right now, at least for today. Oh, you know what I need? Let me pop up to the factory. Storage building. I think I've got some of these lying around in our storage drawers, but I do want more. I want iron mechanical components because we are going to need those. And I might as well go ahead and buy a bunch because by the time we get through the next few episodes, we're going to be using a bunch of those things. So might as well. There's actually a couple things. I have a small little shopping list now in my head of things I need to grab real quick. Let's see. Uluf is open. So I am going to go ahead and buy... I'm going to need some bookcases later on. So let's go ahead and get, like... Give me 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just going to buy as much as I have birch wood for. So there's 9 of those. I will need those a little bit later on, so I wanted to go ahead and grab those while we're at it. These into there. I just got a scrambled eggs recipe from somebody. Yeah! Okay. Okay, you know what? I do not have iron mechanical components lying around. Okay. That's fine. That's okay. So what we're going to do, anyways, we're going to take this chest. We're going to use this as our starting item input, okay, for like coal coke and stuff. And then we'll be able to connect all this stuff together once we have automatic input, once we get into refined storage. So basically the idea here is that we're going to dump the coal and we're going to dump the cobble and we're going to dump all those things into this chest. Actually, I'm probably going to bring it back just a little bit. Because keep in mind, we're going to have a lot of conveyors running through this little factory area. It's kind of the plan. So let's see. Do I want to use steel scaffold? Let me see something here. Man, this factory is going to take so much steel. Okay, so what I'm thinking is we're going to have the conveyors kind of run through the center part, and then they're going to split off and connect into the coke ovens, I do believe. So what we're going to do is let's set a conveyor, or scaffold is what I'm going to use to place this out. And we're just going to kind of run this down through the middle of this. Or do I want to make them raised? Because there would be space. Yeah, let's do that instead. We're going to make these conveyor belts kind of go up above us. And then, I don't know, I might do steel scaffolding underneath them. I'm not 100% sure. So we're going to have the conveyor belts actually feed into the top of these. Like, we'll have one right there. We're just going to put them in the center because it kind of fits, you know. And we'll have one setting, like, right in there. And then what we can do is we can take our engineer's hammer and then, of course, just shift right click. And I kind of want these to, like, point down into that. And then what we'll do is we'll bring this back. And so, for example, if I was to take and I was to throw, like, some coal. Where did my coal go? Oh, it went into here. Let me actually shut this thing off. I'm going to lock that. So if I was to take and throw, like, you know, some coal into this, you'll notice it goes down the conveyor. Whoops. Oh, it went in there. It went in there. So it went into the coke oven. Okay. Go ahead and snag that out for right now. And that's what we're going to do is we're going to have the coal just kind of get dumped into that through our conveyor systems. Okay. So what I'm thinking is, let me deal with these guys real quick. Then let's see. Let's bring this one over. We're going to set a conveyor belt setting right there, and we're going to shift right click so that it angles down like that. Like so. Okay, and then what we're going to do, let me pop down and let me get, like, I don't know, cobble or something. Actually, it's about time to sleep, I think. Yeah, let me go ahead and sleep. And I'll be honest, I'm depending on where we're at on money, I may not even plant anything in the fall. And that's just because I want time to work on this factory, but like, see, look at that. Now I've got to harvest melons today, and probably, oh, I got corn and probably tomatoes. Maybe, maybe not. No tomatoes. Yeah. Which I'm not going to plant anything now that the melons are done. I'm not going to plant anything in that little area. I'm just going to leave that alone. So give me just a bit. I'm going to plant this stuff. I'm also going to get some iron mechanical components, and I think that's the main thing right now that I want. Like a bunch of those. So I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, I actually changed my mind up slightly again. But we're going to do it this way for sure. Let me pull these up real quick. We're not going to have any splitting conveyors for the coke ovens, actually, with this new setup. Or, you know, my change of plans here. Let me pop down to the storage building. Let me get like a stack of acacia. So I've got some wood to make chests. Let me get another stack of iron, because we're going to need a bunch of that. And treated wood planks. I've got 18. That should be good for right this second. I can always make more of those. That's not a problem. Okay, and let's head back up to the factory. And let's kick this thing out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make, let's see, 4... I can't remember. Does this recipe? It does. Okay. And I'm assuming that I can change this into... I don't really like these acacia chests, but then again, it's not really going to be visible. This is going to be above the floor. And actually, some of these are going to make hoppers. I'm assuming that I can still make hoppers with these. If not, that's... Yeah, okay, cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we'll start with 6 for right now. I'm going to put a hopper feeding into this one. I'm going to put a hopper feeding into this one. Hopper feeding into this one. And a hopper feeding into this one. So, if you take a look at these... Okay. They're all facing, you know, a different coke oven. Okay. And then what we're going to do is right in the middle of that, I'm going to put an item router. I love these blocks, by the way. And let's go ahead and make a couple of these, because I'm going to need a few of them by the time it's all said and done. And then we're going to stick an item router right here in the middle of it. Okay. See, that's blue, yellow, red, and green side. So if we open this up, you can see there's a little GUI here. Blue, yellow, green, and red sides are the ones that we're using. We're not going to use the white and the black right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to say filter or dictionary, blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's fine. We're just going to put coal into each of these. And these are filters. You know, I can't put the item into that. And so what it's going to do is it's basically going to round robin between these 4 hoppers that are sitting here when it receives items. And then what we're going to do is set up our conveyor belt, or not our conveyor belt system. I'm going to put, first I'm going to put a hopper feeding into that item router. And then on top of that hopper, I'm going to put a chest setting right here. Okay. And this stuff's going to be hidden. I'm going to have it so kind of like this. This is going to have like some, I don't know, some steel scaffolding or some factory blocks or something above that. So you can see the coke oven sitting there, but you won't be able to see up above it. And then basically there's just going to be like conveyor belts leading into this from above with like a strip curtain. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Okay, and so then what we're going to do is just lay this out, some of our conveyor belts, just kind of feeding into this chest. Alright, and then for right now, this is actually going to change slightly once we get the more permanent setup, because this is not going to come down like this, but for right now, what we're going to do is, there we go, we're just going to connect that up. Because right now I'm going to have to do like a manual input for this. Oops. That. Okay. And we're going to put conveyor belt there. And let's go ahead and just shift right click. There we go. And then what we'll do is we'll have, like for right now's purposes, we'll put a conveyor belt setting like right there. And then we're going to have a hopper. Actually, no. Let me bring this down one more. Like that. Temporary. And we'll put a hopper feeding into that conveyor belt, and then we'll put our acacia chest right there. Okay, so what's going to happen is if I was to take and throw coal in this, and you'll notice the ring of magnetization doesn't pull off of conveyor belts. You'll notice that the coal makes its way up into this chest, and there's some coal in that one. There's some coal coming into that one. There's some coal coming into that one. This one's going to start backing up on coal because this coke oven can't accept items. And so it's just going to kind of round robin between these 4 coke ovens for us. Okay, so all the coal has now been distributed, and we should be able to say there's 14, there's 16, there's 14, there's 15. Okay. And then, like I said, eventually we'll probably have this conveyor like up above here and just kind of going around and doing whatever, you know. So that's set up. So it's producing coal coke. Now what we're going to do to actually have this thing shut off, so that after a certain point, you know, it stops extracting items because it's like, okay, I don't need any more stuff right now. Let's pop down to our storage building, and I'm going to grab some of this redstone coil wire that we made before, and these redstone wire connectors that we made before. And then I'm also going to want a comparator. So there's that. And then I'm going to want a redstone volume 1. This book right here, the redstone torch from the book. We've covered this like a couple episodes ago when we were doing the Britannia mana production. I don't think I have any books. Honestly, I get this pack and all the mods mixed up a lot as far as what I've got like available. And I know in all the mods I have like a ton of books because I hit up libraries in the stronghold, right? And so in this pack, I always think I've got a bunch of books lying around. I never do, but I always think I do. Okay, so let's go back up to the factory. And then what we're going to do is, let's see, we're going to have our comparator. Let's see, don't I have, let me go grab, like, cobble. Okay, so we're going to have our comparator coming out. Whoops. I gotta be so fast. Okay, comparator is going to come out of that chest right there. And then we're going to set that right there. We'll have just, well, actually, I guess I don't really need the redstone coming out of there. I'm just going to put the redstone wire connector setting right there. And then what we'll do is right over here, we'll put, actually, I think I put it right there. Redstone wire connector right there. And this stuff, this part of it, this and some of the wiring and stuff is going to get moved once we have this fully automated and cleaned up and stuff like that. But for right now, we'll do that. Okay, and then let's go ahead and right-click this and say that your output and its channel white is fine for right now. Okay, so if this, let's see, let me, let's put wood into there. So if this thing gets acacia wood, you'll notice it emits a redstone signal, and I'm losing my mind. Okay, it's going to be sitting on the hopper, actually. So now, if this thing gets items, if we were to put, like, say, this cobble here, well, it's still, let's try this. How about the hopper right there? I think this will be a bit better. I'll change this up a little bit later, because the conveyor belts can pull from stuff, and the hopper can send out items, and so I need redstone on both of those if I set it up that way. I believe, though, if we were to put this here now, and you know what? So much room for error, I swear. I forgot to set this to output. So that may have been it, honestly. Okay, we connect it up like that. So that's going to shut off. So then if we were to put cobble in there, you'll notice it doesn't come out. But as soon as we pull the items out of this, the redstone's going to go off and the cobble's going to get sent. Okay, so once the chest starts to back up, it's going to shut off the hopper. But what I'm going to do so that it doesn't just shut it off like as soon as there's like coal in there, so it's not flickering on and off all the time, we're going to take our oak bookcase that we covered a couple episodes ago. We're going to stick it right there, and inside of here we're going to put our redstone volume 1. We're going to set it to like 4 or 3 or something. So it's going to stop basically shutting that off once, or it's going to shut that off once this gets a decent ways filled. So if we were to put, like, say, cobblestone in there, and we threw, like, some iron. Okay, so if we throw, like, all this stuff into there, right? Which is a lot more, I think, than it takes to hit, like, a signal of 2. But if we were to throw in, say, steel scaffolding, you'll notice it doesn't go anywhere because it's turned off from the redstone. So once, like, I don't know, a couple stacks of coal back up in this, it's going to shut off. It's going to stop sending coal until that stuff starts emptying out from the coke ovens, of course, processing this coal coke and breaking it down for us. And so then what we're going to do, which, like I said, this is all going to get cleaned up later. Let me pop down to the world below, and let me go double check the farms. I think there's a pretty good chance there's tomatoes in today. Yes, there's tomatoes. We have almost 500,000 right now, so we're doing pretty good on money, I have to say. Oh, and there's onions. Awesome. Okay, I'll be back in just a minute once I get this stuff harvested. I'm not actually going to replace any more onions because we've got 500,000. Like, we'll have over 500,000 gold once this stuff goes through, and then we've got still more stuff. We're going to have like close to 750,000 probably by the end of the season. I'm actually probably not going to plant in the fall, I don't think, just because, like, I want to spend more time focusing on the factory and not so much time having to harvest crops. And we've honestly, we worked hard to get to this point, like, where we have a lot of money, so it's time we take a vacation. So I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, so that stuff's taken care of. Now, one thing I am going to do real quick is grab that coke oven that's down here, because we don't really need it anymore. I've got 4 up there that are starting to get automated. We're about to do a little bit more with it, because there's a couple other things that we need to implement into this system. Okay, let me grab this, and let's grab that. Not too worried about the creosote. There will be time for creosote. Okay. And let's go ahead and pop up to the factory. Here we go. swear. These climbing claws are like a blessing and a curse. Alright, so there we go. And that one's going to get the coal that it had gotten sent before. Okay, so there's that. Now, another thing you'll notice that there's a problem with this. Creosote oil. Creosote oil is a pain. So what we're going to do is we're going to automate the collection of that. I swear my inventory is awesome right now. I almost forgot about all that acacia in there. Okay, so what we're going to do to deal with the creosote, we're going to bottle it. We're going to bottle it up. And what we're going to do is we're going to make ourselves another crusher. Which, of course, we set one up before. We're going to make another one. And this one's going to be for automatic sand. Okay, so what we're going to do is let's take a look at the crusher. And we need to get ourselves 10 pieces of steel scaffolding. Which there is... Which we've got 5 right here. And I do need iron fences, right? Or steel fences. Yes, I need those. I'm going to need hoppers. 10 steel scaffolding, redstone engineering block, and light engineering block. Which these are... This one's crafted. Iron mechanical components, copper, iron. And of course all the shops are closed. And closing. Tell you what, I'm just going to go ahead and sleep because I need the stores to open. I really, really do. What is with all these duplicated fishermen? I don't get it. There's fishermen running around all over the place right now. Okay, and we don't have anything in to harvest or none of that, so that's good. Alright, so anyways, the hoppers, I've got the stuff up there. The redstone engineering block, I've got to get the blacksmith. Light engineering block takes copper, I've got to get that at the blacksmith. And then we need, what, 10 steel scaffolds, 8 steel fences. Okay, so I've got the steel that we've got right here. So there we go. There's those. And then I'm also going to want the steel scaffolds. Man, this is murdering my steel. There's that. I mean, I've got it making more steel, and I've got coal coke over there. So let's pop up to the factory. I'm going to figure out where I'm going to put this down at. So I think we're going to have it like right up along this wall here. So we're going to have, let's see. Yeah, actually this will work out well. So we'll have the crusher right in here. So we'll have like that. And then, so this is going to come back. Okay, we'll have it like sitting right in here. I've got to go get the engineering pieces. It's Saturday. She's open today. She just opens up a little bit later. Alright, let me get 8, 16, we'll go with like 24. I don't necessarily have to get to her today, because I don't really necessarily need the light engineering blocks, but I do want them. I want them quite a bit, because we're going through this stuff like so fast with this factory. What time do you open? 11, okay. Yeah, we've got 531,000 gold at the moment. We still have a big pumpkin harvest and a couple more corn harvests and tomato harvests. I think we're good for the year. Honestly, next season I might plant a bunch of wheat, but I don't think I'm going to plant like everything, you know. Alright, so let me go ahead and get like a good, I don't know, stack of these, I suppose. We don't need them all for this setup, but we are going to need them, so might as well. Okay, and then from him, let me go ahead and get like a stack of copper ingots. Give me, I don't know, how much space do I have? Quite a bit. Yeah, go ahead and give me like a stack of silver, a stack of lead, stack of aluminum, and a stack of nickel, just so I've got it. And then give me like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 redstone engineering blocks. And then go ahead and give me a... Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, that's good for right now. And there's one other thing that I almost forgot that I do want to get, if I could ever get out of this place. I want to get some copper coil blocks as well, because we're going to need those here in just a minute. I think today we'll probably get the rest of the machines for this first part of steel production, just the first part. Because we're not gonna, I don't think we're actually going to get the arc furnace today. First up, I don't really have enough steel, and second up, it's just, I mean, this is a big setup. It's going to take, you know, a couple episodes to do all this. So these copper coil blocks give me, like, I don't know, Give me like 20 of these, so I've got them for later. I think I've got a couple at the storage building, but might as well go ahead and pick up a little bit of a bulk amount. Okay, up to the factory, and let's go ahead. The redstone engineering block goes right here, and then we need light engineering blocks, which are a bunch of iron. Is that all the iron I have on me, really? Okay, let me pop down and get some more iron. May actually have to do some mining between episodes, because I don't have a whole lot of iron now. Okay, so give me 10 of these light engineering blocks. Then we should be all set to finish this out. So that goes there. A couple of those. We got one on the back of that. We got that right there. And then our 9 hoppers, just like that. And then just right click. And there's our crusher. Okay. So there's that. And then in addition, I'm going to want to get some heaters, some external heaters. These right here from Immersive Engineering. And these are just copper, iron, redstone. And what these do is when they're butted up against a furnace, what they're going to do is they're going to transmit heat to the furnace. That way we don't have to supply coal to a furnace. We can just cook things with external heaters. So I'm going to want redstone. Oops, wrong block. External heaters. Give me 2 of those. And we get an achievement. Spread the warmth. And then I'm also going to want some furnaces. So give me 1, 2, 3, 4 furnaces. I mean, you could put up to like 6. If you have a way to wirelessly send power, you can put up like 6 furnaces per external heater, I think. But we're just going to go with 4. That's good for our setup. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the external heater setting just kind of back in here. Because right in here is going to be that pillar. And then that way there's kind of the window setting there. And actually rotate this around like that. And power comes in through this side. And I believe you can actually, you can right click to rotate, but this is how I want it. And then what we'll do is we'll put our furnaces setting. Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that though. These furnaces are vanilla furnaces. Which really, I guess, I don't need that many. Yeah, I'm going to save these external, some of these for later. So we'll grab that. And honestly, I can do this with 1 furnace. It should be able to run 4 coke ovens. Because it's, let's see, glass bottles are... Because we're going to be pumping the creosote. First I was thinking about putting it into tanks. Tanks are going to fill up. Glass bottles, I can void them rather easily. And honestly, it's more useful because I don't really have any use for liquid creosote. I only have really use for bottled creosote. So yeah, we'll just do, do I want to do 1 furnace or 2? Let's do 2, in fact. That'll be fine. So we'll have the external heater setting like right here. And that way we can still access the back and the top and the bottom of these furnaces. So we'll have 1 setting right there. We'll have 1 setting right there. And that should be good. I'll tell you what, give me 1 second. I'm going to move this chest really, really quickly. And I am going to actually shift our crusher over just a little bit. Because I don't want it quite where it's at, I decided. Because it's going to be hard to kind of frame in that furnace if I have it butted up right against this. I don't actually quite like that. So, let me shift this over just a bit. Okay, so there we go. The crusher shifted over by 1. I think that'll be much better. And then what we're going to do, there's one other little setup that I'm going to need for this. So we've got the crusher, and the purpose of this, which we're going to be setting this up and automating it next episode into the system. And then the purpose of this is going to be crushing up cobblestone to make sand. Right, so if we take a look here, oh yeah, that's going to make gravel, and then gravel makes sand, right? Cobblestone to gravel. Okay. Yeah, we might set up another crusher and have it setting like next to that one maybe. We'll see. We'll see. I'm going to think about it between episodes, but we are also going to need one other thing, and that is, let's see, this right here, the assembler. Okay, I started getting some stuff together for this, and let me get a little bit of this iron sheet metal, and let me go ahead and make a few of these into slabs. And if we take a look at this, we need 2 redstone engineering blocks, 2 light engineering blocks, 2 conveyors. Alright, so light engineering blocks. Let's take a look here. I just need 2 of these guys. Let me get a couple of those. There's that. Just put that away for right now. And the redstone engineering blocks, I think, yeah, we've got everything. Okay, so we're going to set up an assembler. And this is a really nifty block. I don't generally have a lot of use for this. And I mean, really, we could do this with... I'm actually thinking of moving this and setting the assembler in right here, maybe? No, I don't really want it there. By the way, like, yeah, we're doing steel production is what we're working on, but this is going to be the start of one of our cobbleworks as well. So, because we're going to be making creosote bottles, we're going to be making coal coke, we're going to be making steel, we're going to be getting slag. We're also going to be, in the same process of automating that stuff, we're going to be automating sand, gravel, glass bottles, and then we'll probably end up automating cobblestone. There is going to be some Botania features within this, but, you know, that's fine. And then we'll also automate clay as well. So once we get this stuff set up, it's going to make life so much easier. And then we'll also do the tree farm, and we'll have treated wood and all that stuff. So, I mean, over the next few episodes, it's going to be a lot of, like, just kind of working on projects like this, but it's going to be nice once it's all done. It's going to be great. Okay, so this stuff is placed down. Honestly, I think the assembler is going to go, like, over here. I'm not going to have it all just compacted up against that wall, because this is a factory. We're going to have stuff going all over. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to have an assembler set up just right in here. Okay, because the assembler is something that I want very, very visible. It's a really cool looking block, and I don't want to hide it back in there. So what we're going to do is we'll put the assembler just right in here. So steel scaffolds like this. Then we need light engineering block there. We need redstone engineering blocks there. We're going to need a light engineering block there, I think it is. And then sheet metal down this side, sheet metal down this side. We're going to have a conveyor, and I guess so this is going to be making glass bottles. So I'll probably have the conveyor come out this side, okay, because it'll kind of like wrap around. So basically they'll have like, you know, I'm probably going to make another crusher, and I'm probably just going to make it between episodes. Just so we'll have the infrastructure done for next episode. Then we can start plugging all this stuff up and getting a big chunk of the cobbleworks knocked out, like next episode. I'm probably going to have another crusher setting like right here. Okay, so cobblestone will come into this one. It'll get crushed, make gravel. It'll get crushed again, make sand. Some of it's going to get split off and sent to storage. Sand gets made. Some of it's going to get split off, sent to storage, you know, until that point where that's full. And then it's going to stop storing that gravel. It's going to stop storing that sand. Then sand's going to come through. It's going to get smelted over here with our external heaters. This is honestly for this pack. I think it's going to be enough glass production. If we need more, I'll boost it. But honestly, I think it's going to be plenty. And then from there, that glass is going to get sent down through a conveyor belt. Some of it's going to get split off, sent to storage. And then the rest of it is going to get sent down here. It's going to go into here. It's going to make glass bottles. That's going to get sent over to our coke ovens, where it's going to get packaged into creosote bottles and then sent off into storage. And then coal coke will get sent out. Coal coke's going to get sent out and get crushed as well to make coke dust. And then that's going to go in with iron into an arc furnace and make steel and slag. And then that's going to get pumped out. Okay. And then we're also going to have to automate electrodes and keep those stocked. And yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of parts. And then some of that creosote's going to get sent off and make treated wood. And then, yeah, it's going to be like all over the place. So it's going to be very much a few episodes that we're going to be working on this. Okay, so then what we're going to do is our iron sheet metal, we'll just set this right here, set that right there, and then iron sheet metal along the top, and I believe that's the full structure, right? I think so. Right click all the things. Is this wrong? Oh, use the hammer on one of the conveyors. There we go. And that's backwards. That's totally not the direction that I wanted to go. I gotta click on, I think, this conveyor. Okay, there we go. So that's what the assembler looks like. Okay, and so we can open this up and we can set up recipes within this. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. And then I know it's about wrapping up point for this episode, so we'll stop. We'll stop right in here, and then next episode we'll resume with this and start kind of plugging all this up, and by next episode we'll have like things being produced, which is going to be nice. So what we're going to do is we're going to teach it that if it gets 3 glass, it's going to make if it gets 3 glass, it's going to make a glass bottle. Okay, and the nice thing is this can accept fluids as well, so we can use the same one if we want to for treated wood, which will be great. And then we can also use this for, I don't know, other things that we're going to make with this. So we can have up to 3 recipes per assembler, and right now it's non-recursive use of ingredients, so if it crafts a glass bottle, it ships out the glass bottle. If you have it set to recursive use of ingredients, what it's going to do is if it has a glass bottle and then it has a recipe here for, I don't know, something else that takes a glass bottle, then it's going to be able to keep the glass bottle in there and use it. So, but I'm going to keep it as non-recursive. I don't have anything that I think I'm going to need recursive crafting within this assembler for. Anyways, I know it's about wrapping up point for this episode, so I am going to end this one out here. Like I said, next episode, there's going to be, it's going to be a few episodes like this where we kind of have to stop mid-project, because some of these projects are fairly large, and some of them go together, and I have to harvest corn. No, I hate harvesting corn. It's so massive. Like, such a massive harvest, but that's okay. That is okay. Maybe it'll get me back up to about 500,000. So, anyways, I hope you guys join me for next episode. My sprinklers are off at the moment. Okay, I'll get that sorted. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay updated with when new videos come out. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, I'm going to put another crusher down. I've got to go mining and do some stuff. There might be a couple days between this episode and next. So, just a heads up. I've got to stock back up on iron, make steel, and some things like that, and set up another crusher. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope to see you guys next time. Until then, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys then.